once again. This is Ugly Bald Badger, and welcome to the 91st episode of Agreeing with the Trolls. Agreeing with the Trolls. Agreeing with the Trolls. It's time to agree with the Trolls. Trump 2016. Today on my wonderful show, we're going to feature one Cutefuzzyweasel. Anyway, we're going to be doing his video, Panera's music sucks. I'll say right off the bat, how dare he? Panera's music doesn't suck, though it's not nearly as good as Justin Bieber's. Let us begin.
Hey, Panera, your fucking music sucks!
How dare you say that? Panera's music be the greatest ever! If you don't like their music, don't go to Panera! And you're not one to talk, Cutefuzzyweasel! After all, the only music you're into is soundtracks! What are you, some kind of gothy teenage girl?
And this isn't necessarily an indictment on just Panera Bread, because I swear almost every restaurant I've been in is guilty of this.
Why are you bleeping yourself out? Say fuck you, pussy!
Playing this weird fucking hipster music like it's the next big fucking thing.
It is the next thing! These are award-winning songs! You would know that if you paid a semblance of attention to popular culture! But you don't, because you're an ugly shittin'!
I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
You should be sorry for being such a fat ass!
When I'm eating soup...
Maybe if you didn't eat so much soup, you wouldn't be such a fat ass!
out of a fucking bread bowl, I don't need to hear...
I don't know about giving, but I can tell you.
How dare you make fun of Monica Punk's music? She is a genius compared to you! I'd like to see you even try to strum a guitar! You can't, because you're too stupid and your fingers are like sausages!
It's not.
Or when I'm trying to carry on a polite conversation with friends...
You don't have friends! Shut the fuck up!
I definitely don't need to have this blaring in my fucking ears. Well, you know, that's a really good point,
Pills,
God damn it, this
all the
fucking music
doctors
sucks.
It's not Panera Bread's fault that you can't hear them over the sounds of other patrons! Use this as an opportunity, as a stepping stone to go online and find these songs and listen them to yourself! Instead you won't because you're closed-minded!
And what is it anyway with playing it so fucking loud?
So people can hear it?
I mean, I get that I'm sitting underneath a speaker, but there's no reason that that thing should be drowning out my voice.
Perhaps it's trying to do the world a favor!
That kind of negates the whole idea of going out and talking to people when they can't fucking hear you.
Fair point, except you don't talk to people, do you, Weasel? No, the only time you're interacting with anybody is when you're interacting with the staff, and that's only to berate them. How dare you expect non-dairy milk to be in their selection? First world problems, Weasel. First world problems.
Whatever happened to playing classical music?
What are you, 90? Go back to California, you posh elitist! They're a private establishment. They can play whatever they want. And to be fair to Panera Bread, they're located in Elon, next to a university. Of course they're going to play what's popular with millennials. Those are their customers, you uncaring jackass!
I know it might be old-fashioned, but you know it worked for a reason.
If playing classical music worked, Weasel, then why did they stop playing classical music?
And it's okay for the music you play to have lyrics, but for f***'s sake, can the f***ing lyrics not be written by some depressed goth while he f***ing cuts his wrists?
How dare you make fun of suicide, Weasel? Think of all the people you just triggered. Have you no feelings?
That's all I ask. A song that doesn't make me imagine people hanging themselves.
The owners of the establishment, Weasel, can't help it if you have a violent and weird imagination. Perhaps you should see a therapist for your myriad problems. Stay on.
Especially if I'm in a mother Starbucks.
I thought this rant was about Panera. Now it's about Starbucks. Stick to a theme, asshole.
Oh yeah, the coffee's gotten me really hyped up, and now I'm hearing a song about someone jumping off of a roof and onto a fence and impaling themselves with a head.
What What the fuck is wrong with you that you would think that? Weasel, seriously, see a psychiatrist if you're actually having those thoughts. But don't blame it on Panera.
Oh yeah, this really gets me in the mood to want to go get some work done. Why are you playing all these depressing fucking songs anyway?
They're not depressing if you pay attention. Maybe you'd hear the song lyrics better if you weren't constantly stuffing your face with food.
When the lyrics aren't making you want to think about killing yourself, it's some kind of piano noodling that makes it sound like the conversation that you're having with your buddies is the last conversation you're having on Earth.
My, Weasel, aren't we insecure? Can't go 5 seconds without denying your own mortality, can you, Weasel? I believe they have a solution, Weasel. It's called medication. Perhaps you should take some.
You know, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to have a social interaction that's not fucking melancholy.
And there's nothing wrong with the majority of Panera's clientele enjoying such songs. Perhaps you should get a dissenting opinion rather than continuing on these one-sided, fantastical rants, Weasel. But you won't because you're worthless.
In fact, it's fucking preferred. Oh, am I getting too mad about this? I'm sorry. Maybe it would help if the last couple of restaurant experiences I went to didn't have a song where the song was literally about someone poisoning themselves.
No, they were not. You're making that up. Why are you constantly lying to people, Weasel? You say you're going to do a project, but then you never do.
And way to accent the fact that your food is shit. Oh yeah, the orange juice. Yeah, it kind of tastes like dishwater. I wouldn't have noticed it if the song playing wasn't about a guy drowning in some polluted river.
Weasel, you heard that song in a dive bar.
Maybe it's just me, but in my opinion, the music they play at a restaurant should accent the experience.
How exactly do you accent the experience of talking to a shit-headed fat ass who has the fashion sense of a dead mole and thinks he's right about everything to the point where he makes a show where he talks about people he disagrees with and he calls it feeding the trolls? He's not feeding trolls. He's just mad at people because they disagree with him. How pathetic is that? So I ask you again, Weasel, how do you accent that experience? Perhaps you play music that's nothing but the sounds of eggs falling on the ground and exploding. That's the only thing that comes to mind that can make spending time with you at all bearable.
And not overbear it. Nothing wrong with calm classical music or calm lyrical music playing on low.
What the fuck is lyrical music? Wouldn't that be all music with words, Weasel? See, again, you're just trying to sound smart. You don't know what you're talking about.
In the background to kind of distract your brain away from the sound of people eating.
Oh, right, Weasel. Your kryptonite, as it were. Autiophonia. What a made-up condition. Besides, you don't know if you have it or not. You haven't been diagnosed. You're self-diagnosed. You're no better than a Tumblrite, Weasel.
Nothing wrong with that. But when I'm having to shout at the person who's right next to me because the song about some guy bashing his brains in with a hammer is playing louder than a nuclear bomb, maybe you got a problem.
Well, Weasel, perhaps if your problem is that the music is too loud, maybe you could ask them to turn it down some, instead of going online and saying that all Paneras suck because the one next to you sucks.
So here's a tip, Panera, because you're especially guilty of this. Maybe instead of playing the song about a bunch of people committing suicide by jumping into a garbage compactor,
I'd like you to name that song, Weasel. I don't think it exists.
yeah, maybe you could set that song to low on the volume.
Low on the volume. Oh, you're so cool, Weasel. Who are you trying to fool with that act?
So I don't have to hear about some guy describing his guts coming out through his face.
Again, Weasel, please name the song in question. You can't because you're making it up.
But it's so edgy, it's so deep, it so goes beyond what you normally see in songs nowadays.
Wow, Weasel, I'm impressed. Your straw man was so bad that I almost didn't see those hideous double chins of yours.
Yeah, that's nice, but I didn't come to a restaurant to appreciate shitty modern music.
Are you from New Jersey now, Weasel? Is that what this is? You trying to imitate De Niro?
I came to a restaurant to appreciate food.
Oh, trust me, Weasel, you do plenty of food appreciation already. Anyway, that was stupid, ugly piece of shit. I mean, cute, fuzzy Weasel. If you like this video, go jump in a river. Don't forget to subscribe and tell someone you know to go fuck themselves.
Man, pocket dimensions are weird.